Welcome to Tech Talk. I'm your host, Nadirah Nazeer. My guest today has demonstrated with great persistence, perseverance, and hard work you can overcome any challenges. Patrick Brown has achieved a political comeback, winning his bid to become mayor of Brampton this past October. Patrick, welcome back to the show.
It's great to be on your show, Nadirah.
I have to ask you though, so you won by 44% compared to Linda Jeffrey is 40%. How did you do it?
Well, certainly we're the underdog in the campaign. Incumbent mayors usually win, and Linda Jeffrey had gone through a long streak of being undefeated. But at the end of the day, what we really tapped into was people wanted change. They were tired of the direction that Brampton was going. They wanted to see Brampton back on track. And we really focused on the issues, got away from the politics and focused on the issues about my goals for economic development, about standing up for Brampton to get our fair share, not allowing our city to be ignored any further. Talked a lot about escalating crime and what we could do differently on public safety, about the need to build a team Brampton, to bring people together. And yeah, it was an exciting campaign, and it had its ups and downs, and we were grateful for the momentum we continued to build on the campaign. Having longtime Liberal MP Gerbax Malley join our campaign near the end, former Progressive Conservative Premier Bill Davis's endorsement was integral. A number of the city councillors coming to support my candidacy. It was a hard-fought election campaign, but right now it's just an honor to get down to work on behalf of the city of Brampton.
Excellent. So let's look forward. It's been a long journey, so let's look forward to Brampton. What is your mission for Brampton?
I want to see Brampton back on track. I want to send a very clear message that Brampton means business. I want jobs. I want industry. I want to see cranes up in the city of Brampton, because with industry, with jobs, you have the resources to have everything else you want, recreation, to have the social infrastructure that a city needs. I want to give residents in Brampton a platform on which they can achieve their dreams. I want to make Brampton the envy of Ontario.
So one of your missions that I read on the website is to create 140,000 jobs in the next 20 years. So what are the actions that you guys are taking today to be able to accomplish that? So
the website post you're probably referring to is our Brampton 2040 vision, Living the Mosaic. And it's a long-term vision for the city about where we have employment lands. One of the things that I want to do is I'm building a binder of all the employment lands. I'm building a binder of all the investment opportunities. And I'm taking it out there. I'm taking it on the road. I'm pitching potential businesses on why Brampton's a place to locate. We're also going to be starting a program for our startups. We're going to be much more aggressive in economic development. Actually, following the example of Hazel McCallion. Hazel didn't stick in Mississauga and hope the businesses would come to her. She went out and made the pitch. And I've talked to Hazel regularly, and her advice to me was, Patrick, don't think small. Don't think small. Go after businesses. Go after investment. Go after jobs for the city of Brampton. Hazel once said to me, she said, they have 75 Japanese businesses in Mississauga. Do you know how they got 75 Japanese businesses to come to Mississauga?
How did he?
Wasn't because they had a large Japanese diaspora, but they went out and they made the pitch. And so I think you need that type of energy, that tenacity to go after economic development, and that's what we're focused on right now, a much more rigorous approach to bringing investment to our city.
So you're not just looking locally, you're looking also globally, on a global platform.
Absolutely.
How to encourage
Whether it's
them.
India or China, the UAE, Turkey, the list goes on. Nigeria, I think there is investment dollars out there, and I want them to know that Brampton means business. And there's going to be a Brampton advantage. We're not raising taxes. There's going to be a tax freeze. There's going to be no red tape. We're going to have an expediter at City Hall who helps fast track those people that are trying to start a business in the city of Brampton. It's going to be the easiest place in Canada to start a business, the easiest place in Canada to grow a business. I want to create an environment where businesses can invest again, hire again, and grow again.
That's a really great ambition, and I know you wanted at least 60% of the population that lives in Brampton to work in Brampton.
I want to have as many jobs as possible in Brampton. Right now, one of the real frustrations I have is so many people have to commute outside of Brampton to find work. I want to have jobs locally. I want people to be able to live, work, and play in beautiful Brampton.
And that also helps with the congestions of the traffic and everything else, because they can commute locally with public transit. So I know one of your platforms in the past was for transit. What's the latest update?
So we have our master plan on transit of how we're going to have modern transit. It includes our plans on Queen Street, but also the LRT extension. A portion of it would be tunneled. We have an 11-0 motion that everyone in City Council supported, a unity motion on a master transit plan. But we also need the federal and provincial governments to pitch in. We want the federal government to pitch into our transit projects, just like they did in Vaughan and Scarborough. And frankly, to the provincial government, I know they're a new government, but they've been off to a rocky start. They changed the GO train schedules, and it really adversely affected commuters in Mississauga, Brampton, and Kitchener. I'm sure you've heard the stories. It was all over the news about the cancellation of the express train causing commuter chaos. Families couldn't get back. It actually got to the point, there was a video on social media that went viral showing that it was actually a safety hazard. The platforms are so crowded. And you know, I actually went to ride the GO train with the commuters on that busy route, and we've been advocating to the province, cancel the changes they made, bring back the express train. We need to deal with the overcrowding. The Minister of Transportation was very prompt. He said he's looking into it. He understands they made a mistake. I get it. New governments make mistakes. It's only human nature. What I think really shows leadership is when you acknowledge a mistake and you fix it. And they've acknowledged the mistake, and now we're just waiting for them to fix it.
And it's really great for you to be on top of it and riding with the commuters, having that personal experience.
Well, I always believe you got to be hands-on. You got to be hands-on when it comes to the issues. And you know, how can you really talk about the GO train mess unless you see it yourself? And so that's why I wanted to go on the busiest routes. It actually started in the morning. I went to go talk to commuters in the morning, and one lady said, you know, you should really see it in the afternoon. You should really see the 502 Union train. That's the worst. That's when everyone's like cattle. They're like sardines on the GO train. And I said, okay, I'll go. I'll see it. You want to see it before your own eyes.
The very hands-on mayor. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back with Patrick, Mayor of Brampton.
Losing weight and feeling fit is a simple 3-point process: diet, exercise, and a weight reduction supplement. VegiSlim by Greenish is a Health Canada approved weight management formula that's effective, safe, vegetarian, and natural to use. Combined with the right diet and exercise plan, VegiSlim will bring you back onto the path of healthy living.
Welcome back. We are here with Patrick Brown, Mayor of Brampton. Patrick, I know cricket is a big thing within Brampton. What are you guys doing regarding recreations in the cricket field?
So I've long believed that one of the best things for a city is to have lots of recreational opportunities. And it's particularly important in Brampton. Do you know that we have a higher incidence of diabetes in Brampton? And as mayor of the city, encouraging a healthy city is something that I view as one of my responsibilities. I'm concerned about the rising rates of childhood obesity. I'm concerned about the fact that we need to become more active as a city. And so part of my mandate as mayor is to build more recreation. Right now we have fields that are busy. We have to turn away teams. We have to turn away people that want to be active. And at a time when we need to be more active, I don't want to be turning people away. So right now we are going to be expanding the recreation reach in the city of Brampton. We're going to be building more fields, and not just for cricket, across the board. We are going to be having more recreational options. I'm particularly interested in cricket, and I think that's why you mentioned it, is I want the sports in our city to reflect the different cultural mosaics that make up our city. And cricket is a growing sport. It's popular, and I really want to make sure the community in Brampton that loves cricket has proper fields. And right now, I've met with organizers of the key leagues, and you look at the field, it doesn't meet the requirements. There's no lights. There's actually a tennis court at one recreation center where they put up a sign that says no cricket allowed. Well, the reason they have to put up the sign on the tennis court, no cricket allowed, is people went to the tennis courts to play cricket because they had lights. And I don't want to have to put up a sign, no cricket. I want to actually build the field. So we've already passed a motion that we're going to be bringing, we passed a motion in December that we're going to purchase new lights for the cricket field, so you can play at nighttime, you can play during the day, and we're going to be expanding the amount of fields we have in the city as well. I want to make Brampton the best place, the easiest place to play cricket. Should be, given our demographic makeup. But I'm really into sports, and I think it's great for the city.
So for the Bramptonian that's thinking about, what's the timeline for it?
Very quickly. The lights are going to be done as quickly as we can have those put up, hopefully as early as this summer. And in terms of the additional fields, we're looking at that's going to be happening in a number of years. And we have a longer term project. We actually want to have a stadium, a multi-use stadium that I'd like to get construction started on that within 4 years.
Excellent.
So when we get it built, are you going to play cricket with us?
Absolutely, I'm in.
Okay.
I'm doing it. Absolutely, I have to learn, but I will definitely be there.
And do they play cricket in Mauritius?
No, it's actually soccer. Soccer is very popular in Mauritius.
Well, I grew up playing hockey and tennis and running, but a few of the leagues had me out to take a few bats, and I have to admit, it's a really fun sport. And so
it does look like that. There should be a team. Absolutely, I will definitely do it. Yes. Let me ask you about the charity funding that you have for not-for-profit organization.
Well, one of the wonderful things about Brampton, there's so many great community organizations, really, really impressive community organizations, not-for-profits. And so we set up a community fund. So if you're doing an event in Brampton, you want to help more people in Brampton, and you're a Brampton-based not-for-profit, you can apply for our community grant funding, and you have to apply. I think the deadline's January 18th. It's coming up rather quickly, but you can apply at the Brampton website, brampton.ca.
And that could be any charity as long as they're not-for-profit.
Absolutely.
Excellent. And what are the other stuff that's coming up for Brampton? What are the key initiatives you guys are working on with your team?
Well, we also are going to be having our citizenship awards coming up, and so you can nominate an outstanding citizen for our citizenship awards. That deadline will be in a matter of weeks. We have our budget, which we'll be debating in March, and so if you have budget suggestions for the city of Brampton, please share them at Mayor Brown at brampton.ca. We're also working on being more aggressive on having an active transportation plan that's implemented, so more cycling paths, more running paths, more alternatives to having to depend on a car or transit. I really want to make sure that we have an effective, active transportation system make it an easier city to move about. So, yeah, there's lots on the go right now at the city of Brampton.
So for the Bramptonians that's listening to this, if they have some great ideas, what is the avenue that they can get in touch with your office to share the ideas on any different segment? You can
call 311, and you can reach City Hall, ask for Mayor Brown, or you can just email mayorbrown@brampton.ca. I'd also note another exciting thing we just passed a motion on. We passed a motion doing a value for money audit. So we're actually doing an audit of all of Brampton's expenses. So I want to make sure every single one of your tax dollars is spent appropriately. If there's waste, if there's duplication, it's going to be rooted out. And I want to thank Councillor Harkirat Singh for raising this idea. We haven't done that. In a private sector, you look at all your operations, you look at all your expenses. But sometimes in government, that doesn't happen because you just get to raise the taxes each year. Well, we're not raising the taxes. I'm not raising the taxes on the people of Brampton. And so Councillor Harkirat Singh put forward this motion that I wholeheartedly supported encouraging the city to do a third-party value for money audit. And that passed, and so that has already started. And let me just say we're well on our way to finding significant savings for the city.
Excellent. And for the Bramptonians out there, if you have some great ideas, please contact the mayor's office, and they will be more than happy to listen to it. And I think there's a lot of people out there. I believe the population is over 600,000, which is the ninth largest city in Canada. So there's a lot.
We still need to convince you to move to Brampton.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Yes. And when I move to Brampton, I'll be playing cricket. And I know there's a lot of, I think, 115 languages, over 234 culture.
We are the
cultural.
We are the United Nations of the world. And one of the things I love about Brampton is that sometimes you have to travel extensively to see different cultures, to learn about different faiths. You don't need to travel anywhere. In Brampton, you have the world. You have the world in a city, and we love it. And the city gels well together. The city works well together. It's a diversity that is appreciated.
And with the diverse cuisine as well too.
I'm
a big foodie, so I appreciate that.
Well, let me say, there are some amazing restaurants in Brampton, and I would really encourage people to explore Brampton. There are some incredible restaurants.
Excellent. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Losing weight and feeling fit is a simple 3-point process: diet, exercise, and a weight reduction supplement. VegiSlim by Greenish is a Health Canada approved weight management formula that's effective, safe, vegetarian, and natural to use. Combined with the right diet and exercise plan, VegiSlim will bring you back onto the path of healthy living.
Welcome back. We're here with Patrick Brown, the mayor of Brampton. Patrick, let's talk a little bit about your council. What is the makeup of your council today?
So we have a really amazing team. I feel very lucky as mayor that we have a team that's working really well together. I know the last council was plagued by internal divisions and fighting and split votes. All the big votes have almost been completely united. 11-0 on transit, 11-0 on most of the big issues, shows a sense of working together that is really exciting for the city. I look at some of the councillors. You look at Michael Paleschi and Doug Willans. You know, they come from a family of public service. Doug Willans' father, Ken Willans, was a former mayor of Brampton. Michael Paleschi's father, long-term city councillor. Some institutional knowledge that Michael brings to the table. You know, I look at Pat Fertini. This guy knows the city upside down. A real smart individual. I look at Marta Medeiros, councillor of Portuguese background, serving his second term. This guy's worked in the Council of Europe. He has a really extensive educational background where he brings, he's worked in the provincial government as well, a real asset for council. I look at Rowena Santos, first Filipino ever elected in the city of Brampton, and the Filipino community is amazing, and she's bringing a lot of energy to the task. She's also worked in provincial and federal politics. I look at Paul Vicente, also a Portuguese background. He helped set up and found Brampton Focus. He's a communications expert, so he's been really helpful in trying to get our message out as we tell the city's story. I look at Councillor Jeff Bowman. This guy's so involved in charity, and it's contagious. You know, some of the work he did at the Knights Table, I remember listening to him and just being blown away. People that ooze a sense of community, I just love it. I love people who are so passionate about their city. Harkirat Singh and Gurpreet Dillon from Wards 9 and 10, two proud Sikh Canadians. who are so involved in their ward, and the level of participation, it's important. You got to get your ward involved. You got to get people involved in the city, and these two guys have been so good at getting people of all ages involved. Gurpreet actually runs this drop-in basketball clinic for young people in his ward. So we get all these young people getting involved in their city and just shooting hoops with their city councillor. So it's a different way of getting people involved, but it's working. And I should mention, Harkirat used to be on the school board. So that brings an interesting perspective to the job too, because we need to get the school board and the city working closer together. And Harkirat knows all the folks at the school board, so he's been a real star. And so I'm really pleased with the city council. Charmaine Williams, is the last one I forgot to mention.
She has an amazing story. You should probably tell a little bit more about her story.
So she was at the hospital. People were saying that she was going to be bedridden, a serious medical issue, and maybe never being able to walk again. And mother of 5. Imagine that, mother of 5. My younger sister has 3 kids, and she's got her hands full. Imagine having 5.
I have 3. I can't imagine having 5.
I know.
That's a lot of work.
I know. Well, Charmaine not only was able to overcome her health challenges, she ran for city council and won. And she's brought a great perspective, a great passion to city council. The first black woman ever elected to city council in Brampton. So she's breaking down barriers. She's a role model. She's very involved in the city. She's got particularly involved around the debate on cannabis because we have the vote coming up on whether to opt in or opt out, and she's probably been one of the most active on that issue. So yeah, we got a really stellar team on Brampton City Council,
and very diverse as well too.
And that's unique. One of the criticisms of Brampton City Council before was that it wasn't diverse, and I think we now have a city council that very much is diverse.
So we're the beginning of 2019, January. So fast forward 12 months from now, December, when you look back, what do you hope that you're going to accomplish for 2019?
Well, I'd like to see our new economic development program to be in full swing. I would have expected our value for money audit would have been completed. I would have expected that we would have achieved our first tax freeze in modern memory in Brampton. I hope that we've been successful in laying the groundwork for federal and provincial support of some of our key projects. So yeah, we've got a lot on our table.
So a lot of things that the Bramptonian can look forward to. Any last thing you want to shout out or call to actions for the Bramptonians before we wrap up?
Well, I just say be involved in your city. The worst thing for a city is apathy. And I'm the type of mayor, if you want to reach me, call me, email me, reach out on social media, Patrick Brown, ONT, on Twitter or Instagram, vote Patrick Brown on Facebook. I want to hear from you. The more perspectives, the stronger we are. And I don't mind having spirited debates. Looking at an issue from different perspectives results in a better decision in the end. And so stay in touch.
Patrick, thank you so much for coming. I look forward to that cricket game, hopefully this summer. I have to learn how to do that. Thank you for your time today. And I want to thank my fashion stylist, Susie Tamasi, and her website is susieqjewels.com, and a portion of her proceeds goes to the Women's Shelter. And my wonderful makeup artist, Catherine McGuire from Beauty Concept at Shoppers Drug Mart in Oakville. Please follow me on Instagram and subscribe to TAG TV, and check out my website, nadirah.ca. And my new tagline for 2019 is actually stay positive and start believing.
I should also thank my fashion consultant, Genevieve Galtieri Brown, my wife. She doesn't allow me to shop on my own, and she gives me good advice, and that's why I've designated her tonight as my official fashion consultant. Nadirah, if you get a fashion consultant, I want one too.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. Until next time.